Hi guys, welcome back. Now today we have 5 building tips and tricks that you can use in your base for Wipe Day. Now some of these you might have already seen. I've covered 2 of them already before, but it's been quite a while since I've done one of these tips videos. Now the first one I'm going to show you is the unlootable TC. Now this is just the mechanism itself. You have to build this into your base. Make sure you have a half wall above it so you can actually get into it. If you have a roof directly above the triangle that's on just now, you won't be able to get into it, so you have to make sure it's like kind of bunkered down. People shoot it out and you can't actually get into it. Now this one is a trick that I spotted on YouTube. Link to the actual video is below. This allows you to actually teleport through the wall if there's a gap. Very neat little trick. I haven't worked out how to actually put it into a base yet, but it's something I'm working on at the moment because it can be used quite effectively. But for the time being, I think it probably will get patched, but it's probably about 2 weeks old now. Now next, something that a lot of people don't actually use anymore, you can double stack loot rooms if you have like a small starter base by putting armoured stairs to the side or all around it. Obviously this works better with squares, but when you take it out, if you have a lowered loot room, you can actually put this into like a concealed box area as well and have floor tiles coming off, so it's quite handy to have. Now this one, Taco showed it recently, but it's been about for quite a while. Myself and Evil Worst tried to figure out who it was that done it, because we've both seen it, but the TC actually drops the loot down below. Again, very useful to have for, let's say, your starter base, if you don't want anyone to actually get the loot. So it's become more recent again, but it has been about for quite a while. And lastly, if you've seen the trap bases that I've done, you'll know about the pressure pad trick. If you don't, basically you can have a pressure pad underneath a floor tile, so if you have a trap, etc., or just if you want your pressure pad for your doors underneath, you can hide them away and they can actually float underneath the tiles. So guys, I'll quickly go through how each of these are made and just talk a bit more on how exactly you can maybe actually utilise these in your base on Wipe Day, or if you're already into a wipe, just stick it in the base you're in just now. Starting with the unlootable TC, this is something that I actually have in every base that I build in game. Now, the reason I use this is simply because if you do get offline, they're going to have to work harder to actually get to it. Now, as I said, you have to bunker this down into your base or build up from it, but you have to make sure that you can actually look in from above, and to do that you're going to have a raised foundation and a raised ceiling above so you can actually get into it and get all the stuff you need. Just bear in mind, if you're building up foundations, etc., you can't do walls, so you have to try and pre-plan how you're going to build it. Now, when you shoot the actual TC out, as you can see, the bag just drops to the floor. You can't actually get to it, so you're going to have to work their way through to actually get to the loot itself. So it's by no way unraidable, however it's going to force them to work harder, especially early game when you've got your gunpowder and sulphur in there as well. Now moving to the ladder and chair trick. As I said, I spotted this on YouTube, the link is below to the original video. Haven't seen anyone else use it yet. I am trying to work out a way to put this in a base which is effective. I think maybe if you are trying to have like a main entrance where you want to rely on doors, but you have to make sure you have metal, it's going to force people to work through. However, if someone does raid it, bear in mind that they can use splash damage just to get the foundation and the walls as well using rockets, so there is a bit of risk to using this, so bear that in mind if you implement it in any sort of base. I think honestly it will get patched shortly. You can actually do it through armoured windows as well. If anything, when you're raiding, this is maybe a technique to think about. If you get TC and you find some areas where there's gaps, try using the ladders and the chair. It could save you a lot of rockets. Now moving on to the bunkered loot room, as I said, you can actually, if you use twig, you can build like stairs to the side and put like a floor piece on top and make it into like a box. This is more if people are going to raid you from outside and try and foundation wipe it. A lot of people will try and do that. If you've only got crappy doors, then chances are it's not going to make too much of a big difference. But it is handy to know, because if you use the armour foundations, it just drops straight to the floor and people are going to have to take the armour foundation out as well as the wall after it. So if you armour the top, you're looking at 15 rockets minimum just to get in through the top, plus anything else that you have. You can see I'm upgrading to metal. I'll upgrade one to armour as well. You just have to make sure you aim properly. There we go, armoured. That makes it 30 rockets from one side just to get in. Very OP. It can be annoying to use though because you have to build around it, so just bear that in mind. It can be a bit annoying. I would probably use it if you're going to have a long-term starter base. Maybe think about it for that. Just put 2 boxes, 3 boxes in there, and it should keep you quite tight. If you've got an armoured door as well, brilliant. It's going to just add to the raid count. Now, as I said, this has been about for a while. Taco re-showed it again. I'm not sure if he'd seen it previous, but just by putting 2 half walls, putting a triangle in after you put your TC in, then putting stairs in, drops the loot down. Now, I genuinely thought it had been patched. I hadn't tried it. It's not something I normally use because I like to use all the space. There are other ways of doing it as well, but this is probably the most effective. This, just like the lootable TC, just stops people from getting the loot. They're going to have to work and work their way through to get it. But bear in mind, once the TC's gone, you can't put a TC back there, so that's the only downfall of actually using this method. And you can't get a loot either unless you make like a little run through like a bunker or something to get into that area. The loot will stay for 24 hours, so bear that in mind if you do go down that path and choose to use that method as well. Now, at last, as I said, this is very effective for traps. Now, using spinners, they're still broken. You can put bear traps on them occasionally, not all the time. They don't always work. Stack 4 up and you're just going to basically pick up the first 4 or destroy 4 on top. Now, this allows you to put items on that area. As you can see here, pressure pad is down. You can now use that. Now, pressure pads at the moment can't be destroyed, so we'll shoot out the spinner and you'll see that it actually floats. It stays there. You can hear the pressure pad is activating. That is fully usable now. You can use that as a trap. You can use this in lower floors as well. It doesn't have to be full height. It can be very effective for opening like anti-door camp doors. If someone's running across your building, it will open a double door and shoot through to them and pick them up with a turret. So guys, that is 5 tips to add to your base. Now, I've seen a lot of tip videos. I try to steer away from all their tips. X-Raw has got another tip video out today as well, where it's totally different tips from this. I have got a base coming out in about 2 days where I'm trying to do a base which doesn't require doors. So see how that comes. That'll be out in about 2 days time. So guys, thanks for stopping by and I will catch you in the next one.
La 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 la.